Hey y'all, welcome back. So today we're just gonna jump right into it. I'm gonna be sharing with y'all 5 dinner recipes, and each one of these is around $5. So that means Monday through Friday, you can have dinner on the table for about $25. But a quick little note before we jump into these recipes, I did use a few different things that I had kind of already in the house, things that I feel like are staples in the fridge, in the cabinet, in the pantry. Not a whole lot of things, and I'll mention them as we go throughout the recipes. But for the most part, I really did set aside $25, and I got 5 really good meals out of these. They're quick, they're easy, and most importantly, they're budget friendly. So let's get into these 5 recipes. First up today, we have Philly cheesesteak pasta. And y'all, this one surprised me a little bit. It was so good. So first, we're gonna start by sauteing up this bag of frozen peppers and onions. I decided to get this bag because it's only about $1 for this whole bag of all these veggies. So I just had a little bit of oil, something I already had in the house. Any kind that you have will be fine. And you just wanna saute these up. I love using these bags of frozen onions and peppers, even the ones you can buy separately, like the onions and then the peppers by themselves, because really, if you think about it, one red pepper, I don't know about y'all, but in my store can sometimes be close to $2. So really, you can get a bigger bang for your buck, and as you're gonna see here in just a minute, this one bag is actually gonna serve us for 2 different recipes. So after everything was nice and soft, good and sauteed, just got our peppers over here in a little bowl on the side, and then that same skillet, we're gonna brown up 1 pound of ground beef. I'm doing the 73/27 because it's cheaper and we can drain the fat. So I'm just gonna brown that up in that same pan. It adds so much flavor to use that same pan we did the peppers and onions in. And then again, I'm just gonna separate about half of this ground beef because I have another really good recipe coming to use that other half. So next, over on the side, I just had 1 box of mac and cheese. You can really use any kind that you prefer, like a white cheddar. I'm just using this 3 cheese Kraft macaroni shells because it was on sale at my grocery store. So I'm gonna add our ground beef to our macaroni noodles. And then again, like I said, we're gonna add about half of those peppers and onions. Also, a steakhouse seasoning, if you have some, works so well in this recipe because it just kind of adds to that Philly cheesesteak flavor. We're also going to add in that cheese packet that comes in our mac and cheese box. Give that a nice little stir. Also, I did leave probably about a half a cup of that pasta water in there just to help everything combine. It comes out super good, super creamy, believe it or not. And then I separated our mac and cheese into 4 little bowls and just topped with a little bit of shredded cheese that I bought. And y'all, this was so good. Hit the spot. Perfect for these cool nights coming up. Everybody in your family is gonna love this one. Y'all make sure to give this one a try. And as always, I will have the recipes either linked or typed out in the description box below. Next up, we have Fajita Casserole. This was so good, and I think if you have little kids especially, this could really feed 5 or 6. So to a medium-sized bowl, I'm just adding about 3 cups of cooked rice. To that, we're going to add 1 cup of cooked chicken. I'm actually adding 1 can of chicken. We're adding 1 can of cream of chicken soup. We're also going to add 1 packet of taco seasoning. My store didn't have fajita seasoning, but that would work also. And then we're going to add in that other half of our peppers and onions that we sauteed. I'm going to add just a little sprinkle of shredded cheese just from that same bag that we used earlier. And then we're just going to give everything a mix. Once everything is nice and combined, I'm just bringing over my baking dish. I'm going to get that a little spray with some cooking spray and get that into our dish. And then next, I'm going to take probably about a half a cup to a cup more of that shredded cheese. I'm going to top that, and then this is going to bake in the oven at 350 for about 30 minutes. When it came out of the oven, it was nice and golden and bubbly on top. I just topped ours with a little bit of fresh cilantro just for a little bit of color. And then it was time to plate it up. And y'all, this was so good, so cheesy, lots of flavor, and super filling. Perfect little dinner for $5. You can't beat that. Next, we have one of my personal favorites, skillet smoked sausage and cabbage. And this one could actually be a 2-ingredient dinner if you really needed it to be. So first, I'm just going to start by taking 1 head of cabbage. I like to chop mine up into about 1-inch little squares, and then I'm going to slice up this smoked sausage. You can use any kind that you like. I really like the turkey smoked sausage. It's really, really good. And I'm just going to brown mine up in a skillet beforehand. This step is actually optional. You don't have to do this, but if you do have a little bit of olive oil or vegetable oil, canola oil, any kind that you have, it just adds to the flavor to kind of get these little brown edges on your sausage beforehand. And next, I'm just going to bring over that head of cabbage that we chopped up. I'm going to get that into the pan. This is a pretty big skillet, by the way, but this cabbage will definitely cook down a little bit. I just kind of tossed that around. I did end up using a little bit of chicken broth that I had in my fridge to kind of deglaze my pan a little bit, get all that flavor up on my cabbage. But if you don't have chicken broth, you can do that with water. And then whatever seasonings you have will be fine, even if you just have salt and pepper. I'm using my Auntie No-No's because it has garlic, onion, salt, and pepper, and it just makes it really good. If you have garlic powder or onion powder, that would be perfect in here. Also, believe it or not, if you have curry powder is actually delicious on sauteed cabbage, and it will make your house just smell so warm and so cozy. I love that. But anyway, at that point, whatever you season it with will be fine. You just want to let this saute for about 20 minutes, pop that lid on. Could not be any more easy. Also, before I forget, if you have an onion, chop that up and throw that in. That would be good as well. And look how good this is, y'all. A 1-bowl dinner. That's my kind of meal. Next, I'm going to show you how to make a basic pantry and fridge chili. And let me tell you, my family makes this all the time. It's good for burgers. It's good for loaded baked potatoes like I'm going to show you. If you can grab a pack of hot dogs, this is going to be perfect. So I'm just using that other ½ pound of ground beef that we already browned up. And to that, I'm going to add a little bit of tomato paste. Tomato paste is so cheap to keep in your pantry. But if you don't have that, just ketchup, a little bit of mustard, adding some garlic powder. I had some dried minced onion I'm going to add. And then you will need some chili powder. I figure most people probably have that in your pantry. So I'm adding that, a little bit of paprika, about 1 cup of water, and this is basically just gonna simmer. I do also add a tablespoon of brown sugar. I like it to be a little bit sweet. However, if you don't want to do this or can't, I think the Dollar Tree actually sells like a chili in a can you can buy, and you can even add that with a can of Pintos if you can grab that as well, and that will work perfectly for this dinner. So I have a couple of russet potatoes over here that I went ahead and baked up, and then I'm just going to bring over that super quick, super good homemade chili, add that on there. I'm going to bring that same bag of shredded cheese that I've been using in this video, add a little bit of cheese on top. I had a little bit of sour cream also left in my fridge, but this is one of those things you can customize, use whatever you and your family love, or whatever is just left over in your fridge. Super filling and super delicious. All right, y'all, I think I lied before because this recipe might be my favorite. First of all, pizza is my favorite food group, and this was the easiest one to make. Can I get an amen? Okay, anyways, so you're just gonna pick up a loaf of this French bread. Most grocery stores have it for $1 or $2, and then I just like to slice mine in half and then slice it in half long ways as well. I did use a couple tablespoons of butter from my fridge. I'm gonna melt that down along with some garlic salt and some Italian seasoning. This step is completely optional. You do not have to do this, and this recipe will still be delicious. So I'm just gonna brush each little piece of my bread here with that garlic and butter, and I'm gonna pre-bake this at 425 just for anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, because I really like for my French bread to kind of get toasty on the inside, so that way it's just not completely soft before my cheese melts at the end. So now, of course, we're gonna need some pizza sauce. Y'all know Rayo's is my main man, okay? But we're going with the Dollar Food Line brand, and I have to say it was actually really good. I might stick with this one for this recipe. So I'm just gonna get my pizza sauce on there, spread it all out, and this again is another recipe you can totally customize. I love this because for our family of 4, it's perfect. Everybody can have whatever they want on there. I bought this little bag of pizza blend cheese, and that's another little tip I have for you. It has like 3 or 4 different kinds of cheese in there. So if you're gonna buy a bag of cheese, instead of just paying for mozzarella, you might as well get one with a few different kinds. It kind of just ups your cheese flavor a little bit. So I just did 2 with just the cheese and then 2 with pepperoni for my husband and I. Bake these in the oven for about 15 minutes, and this is so good. If you have salad stuff, serve it with a salad. I just love any kind of pizza with some ranch, so that's what we had. You can hear that crust is so crunchy and crispy on the bottom, yet the middle of that French bread is still soft and pillowy, and it is so good. This also makes a perfect after-school snack. All right, y'all, thank you so much for cooking along with me today. I hope that this video was helpful to you, or maybe brought you at least some inspiration. Let me know if you think you'll try out any of these recipes this week. I hope you're all doing amazing, and I'll see y'all real soon in my next one. Bye, y'all. You can hear that crust is so crunchy and crispy on the bottom, yet the middle of that French bread is still soft and pillowy, and it is so good. This also makes a perfect after-school snack.